Good afternoon. Sorry to keep you waiting. We had a New York State County Executives Association. This is only the second time the county executives from all across New York met together. We met in Rhinebeck, and you can imagine when you get politicians together, it goes a little longer than scheduled, but I apologize. We're here at VFW Post 170 in the town of Poughkeepsie, just on the Poughkeepsie-Hyde Park line, give or take. I've been here a few times. We're here with Post Commander Bernie Hertzfeld, and in order to start off today's town hall meeting, we're going to ask you to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Okay, if everybody could rise, face the flag, present arms. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Order, arm.
So Bernie, thanks for having us in your house. I'm a member of the Sons of the American Legion. I think most folks know I didn't serve in the military. My stepdad did towards the tail end of Vietnam. And my two grandfathers served in the Army during World War II. My mother's father, Alvin Anzio, was actually shot down over Paris in one of those flying fortresses. He will tell you that he had bad eyesight, but they didn't care, so they still gave him a gun and sent him out to war. And he survived it and came home. My father's father, Anthony Molinaro, Primo, for the Italians, number one first, served in the Pacific Theater, where he spent most of his time playing baseball. And I don't understand that, but for some reason, somehow during World War II, he played a lot of baseball. And why don't you tell us a little bit, I know this sounds a little structured, but why don't you tell people who are watching about your service and what happens here at the VFW?
I'm Commander Bernie, and thank you for coming here, Mark and Adam. As far as myself, I was in Desert Storm for a year. Was in the Army. Drove truck. Was a machinist. I did a bunch of stuff over there. So when they say you got an MOS, it doesn't matter. You do whatever they tell you. So as far as Post 170, we do a lot with veterans. We have about 171 combat veterans part of this post. We have been doing stuff with Liberty Station. Vet Zero Heroes Rides is a ride that we give vets free rides to medical and stuff like that. And I think they're also going to kick off a sandwich where they make meals. So gotta look forward to doing that. And then we have Simplify Family that is part of this club too, where they send presents and food and stuff overseas to people that are serving overseas.
When young guys come back now, or I know that we've talked about this, and Adam Roach, who's the director of the Division of Veteran Services for Dutchess County, most people know him. He's more popular, well, a lot of people are more popular than I am, but he's a lot more popular than I am. But we talk a lot about vets coming home, servicemen coming home today, and joining the VFW isn't necessarily the thing they do. Are you still, but this particular post, I always see young faces, so what's the experience?
We actually have done pretty good, but they say in the book that it takes 10 years for a veteran, when they get out of service, to actually join a club like this.
Yeah.
So it would be nice to get younger members, but like I said, it takes them about 10 years to get here.
Sure. So Monday, you know, it's funny. I've been in public service my whole life. One of the first things I ever did as a village trustee in Tivoli was to be the guest speaker at the Tivoli American Legion Memorial Day ceremony. And I remember Tom Mabey and Bill Dunn, they led the American Legion in Tivoli. They reminded me the second that they asked me to speak what Memorial Day is and what it isn't. And we forget that a lot. There's Armed Services Day, that's for men and women who serve. There's Veterans Day, that's for the men and women who came home. Memorial Day is probably America's most sacred of holidays. And yes, we have parades. Yes, we have parties. Yes, we have barbecues, and sadly, even we have sales at stores. Although, you know, getting a good sale is not so bad. But that's not Memorial Day is. Memorial Day is the day we pause to recognize men and women throughout generations who served but didn't come home, and recognize the people who were home, their family members who lost loved ones. So I'm very sensitive to that. Memorial Day is that, and sort of their last mission, in my view, is for us to make sure their lives and their memories don't go away. What are you all doing around the Memorial Day holiday?
Actually, on Saturday, we're going to meet at St. Peter's, and we put out new flags for all the veterans cemetery, and we do approximately 2,000 flags. Believe it or not, there's that many
Really?
vets in St. Peter's Cemetery. We're doing that at 08.
That's great.
Yes. And then we're going to support Nate's Post. Where was that, Nate, for Sunday?
The Soldiers Fountain.
There's Nate. I didn't see Nate. I snuck in there.
Yeah, the Soldiers Fountain on Market Street on Sunday. This coming Sunday at 3 o'clock.
Sunday, 3 o'clock, Soldiers Fountain is your ceremony.
Yes.
Okay.
Post 37.
Okay. Is the mayor coming to that one?
Jackie is in charge of.
Oh, you don't know who's coming?
She contacted.
Okay.
I don't know if he becomes.
So 3 p.m. Sunday is yours. And for anybody who's watching, if they visit dutchessny.gov or the county's Facebook page, Adam Roach and the Division of Veteran Services outlines all of the Memorial Day weekend ceremonies and celebrations that we're aware of. There's almost 3 dozen, I think, on the list. There's quite a bit. Yeah, it's quite a long list, and we'll get Adam up here in a minute. I know that we have Tommy Zerhellen here too.
Yes.
He's a member of this post?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Guys, come in.
Oh, so you have to follow in his footsteps?
Oh, yeah.
He had days of footsteps, miles and miles of footsteps.
They're big feet to follow.
Yeah, I mean, they are big shoes, big shoes. So we'll talk to Tommy in a minute, but so you've got I know that you have a very active post, and we're grateful for your service and all the folks that are here. So do you want to say anything else before? What's happening in June? I see your notes. What are you doing June 13th?
June, we have our flag burning on June 13th.
Right.
Where we'll do a little ceremony. I think Sue Serino is going to be here.
Good.
We can show up, and we'll have we do a little ceremony, and then we burn retired flags.
Are you if somebody has a flag they no longer need, can they just drop it off here?
Yes, we have a bin in the parking lot, a green bin that they can put it in, or if they want to carry it in, we have a spot in the back there.
Okay, so people should know that, right? After a flag is worn and torn, we don't throw away the garbage.
No.
You don't shred it and make a sweatshirt out of it.
No.
There's a ceremony that a proper disposal, and you all conducted. I went to one on Long Island in 2018, and the fire was huge. I mean, they had hundreds and hundreds of flags. The other is, I know that the Dutchess County Legislature has a receptacle there too. So if you happen to be in Poughkeepsie, 9 to 5, they also collect retired flags. They were telling me though the nylon ones you're not supposed to burn.
Yeah, so we're actually supposed to cut and bury them, do a proper burial.
Sure.
Yeah, because they do.
The chemicals. That
Yeah,
are
the
involved.
chemicals in the black smoke.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Anything else you wanted to say, or you want to hightail it out of here?
No, I think
You covered it?
Yes, I
Okay.
did. Thank
I
you.
appreciate it. Thanks very much. God bless. Thank you. Thanks. So I have to say, this is the first time in 16 months we've had human beings at our town hall meeting. When I became county, Adam, when I became county executive, we continued to have town hall meetings. We had over 100 in the first 8 years I was county executive. This is the first time that we've had people. We have people and Victor. We have people here, and I'm thrilled to be here. Adam Roach is the director of Dutchess County's Veteran Services. Before we jump to you, what I want to do is get through some of our data. Adam is a veteran himself. Adam led the Vet to Vet program with Mental Health America. This was our partnership through the Joseph Dwyer, PFC Joseph Dwyer Vet to Vet program. Was actually, I think you know, but I was actually the founder of the program. Congressman Lee Zeldin, who happened to be senator Lisa at the time had launched the program.
Yes, in Long Island.
In Long Island, and we really took that, the state made it, made it statewide, and of course we applied it. Before we get to all of that, why don't we jump to a few, to our dashboard, and I have a handful of questions. And if you have a question, write it in that comment section below the live feed on our Facebook page. Let's go through the data very, very quickly. Dutchess County is currently tracking 196 active cases. We felt this all along. We felt we were going to get up below 200 this week. I would, at this rate and this pace, we may be at about 100 active cases come the end of next week, which is important. Everything is pointed in the right direction, which means, by the way, people are outside, which means you're not as in close proximity, you're not transmitting the virus. The vaccine is working. Over 50% of the population in this country have been vaccinated. We know that's working. And we've learned a lot about how to be safe with the virus. The fact that 16 months ago we needed to remind people to wash their hands is a little bit troubling to me, but nevertheless we've encouraged people to be safe, and that's where we are. 196 active cases. We've been at this 10 hospitalization on and off for about a week. It's low since practically the lowest since last September. But obviously anytime somebody's in the hospital is troubling and worrisome for them and for us. With 10 hospitalizations, we have broken 1% on our positivity rate. We are now at 0.98%, 0.98% positivity rate. That is as of May 24th. That is our 7-day rolling average. And if I'm correct, that is likely lower, the lowest it's been since last summer, late summer into September. All of this is very positive. But what this also means, and I said this last time we got together, is we are not living in an emergency situation any longer. Even though the state has a declared state of emergency, even though there are those orders that are in effect, and we'll talk a little bit about those today and answer some questions, this is not an emergency situation. The state of New York ought to lift the state of emergency, allow the public health officials at the local level, that's counties and the city of New York, to get back to the business of governing. We have that capacity. We can do it safely. There are guidelines that are no longer logical or necessary, so we need to accelerate that if the numbers stay here. And as the numbers stay here and continue to decline, we have to get back to living something a little bit more normal. And I said this last week with Greg Pulver. At the end of the day, we're going to get to a point where we don't have the restrictions. We assume certain risks, like we do any other day. And that is just the reality. We had an emergency, we centralized decisions, we made some tough choices, and now we're back at a point where, frankly, at 0.9%, we should be, the state ought to be lifting that state of emergency. We ought to get back to a more normal functioning. Vaccines, 157,000 Dutchess County residents have received at least their first dose. That's 53.5% of our total population have received their first vaccine. That is at this point 63.5% of adults in Dutchess County have received their vaccine. That is a very good number. At 133,941 residents, we now have 45.6% of our population completing their vaccination, meaning they had the 2 shots, they're done. And you can see on the data above me what that looks like, or over me, what that looks like. We continue to have vaccine availability. Talk a little bit about that. Our JCPenney's location, clinics going on. To schedule, visit dutchessny.gov. We have a series of pop-up events. To get to all of them would be impossible. We actually have been doing so many. But we had one today at Dutchess Community College. We're partnering on Thursday with the Mexican Consulate in the city of Poughkeepsie on a clinic. We're partnering with New Hope Community Center in Poughkeepsie on a clinic on Thursday. We have a series of partner pop-up clinics going on with other partners. Today they're at Ketchum High School. We'll be at the Beekman Pharmacy. We're working with Premier Medical Group, Bambini Pediatrics, Caramount Medical at Oakwood Commons, and the Children's Medical Group, all providing vaccination to residents and young people. And again, if you want to schedule a vaccine through Dutchess County system, visit dutchessny.gov. You can call us at 845-486-3555, press 1. Or if you're a senior citizen trying to get an appointment, you're not a senior citizen.
Not yet.
You hope to be one day. 845-486-2555. Let's do a couple of questions. Any guidelines for animals and the 4-H at the fair. No guidelines on that or the Dutchess County Fair yet, but we're having a fair. And based on the outdoor guidance the state has given, assuming the numbers stay where they are, the only thing that I think will end up happening for a fair setting is likely limited capacity, probably fewer same-day ticket purchases, so they can confirm the number of people going through the gate on any given day. That's my estimation, and probably limited capacity in the indoor settings. Now, will the state say if you're not vaccinated you should wear a mask? They may say that. My guess is by the end of August it might be a strong recommendation, but by the end of August at this point, I'd be surprised if there's a hard regulation for that. But I would expect the fair to be able to function somewhat like normal, limited access, limited capacity, not 30%, probably not 50%, maybe in the 75%. But mostly the goal will be to be sure that folks buy their tickets ahead of time so they can kind of track the people coming in, not track, but know the numbers coming in on any given day. Is the war wagon going to be allowed at the fair? This is like fair day. Everybody has fair questions. It's my favorite thing in the whole world. I turned into a 6-year-old again. The Dutchess County Fair, 6 days, 6 days? 6 days. 6 days, becomes the largest municipality in the Mid-Hudson Valley, 100 and some odd thousand people. So I'm going to guess if there's a fair, there's going to be the war wagon. We'll ask the Costello family if that's happening. Any idea when day habilitations will be opening full-time? I don't. The state hasn't said so. Our position is day hab facilities are like day camps, are like daycare, are like child care. They should be functioning, they should be open, and they should be safe. And we think that can all happen, but it's not yet. Insight into lifting mask regulations for those who had confirmed COVID cases in the past. The state has not said, right? So the CDC guidance is if you've been vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask. Now, I'm not going to get into the science and the level of immunity one has if you've contracted COVID and survived it, but it is less likely, at least for a period of time, that you would contract it again, and certainly with the degree of severity. However, CDC guidance is vaccinated, you don't need a mask. I will also say the state issued updated guidance for daycares, child cares, and day camps. You remember about a week ago, the governor announced they were going to reverse the state mask mandate, and for childcare, daycare, and camps, there'd be no masks. Except when they did that, the state neglected to tell people that what they meant was that's only for kids up to 5 years of age. And so currently, so the feeling was, the language was for daycare, childcare, and camps up to 5, no masks are necessary, and that is true. The state language suggests, and it's pretty clear when you read it, certainly outdoors, of any age, at any camp, at any daycare setting, outdoors, no masks are necessary regardless of age, so long as that particular area is one camp or one activity or one childcare. So Adam has his day camp, and they're going to Wilcox Park. Right? So because they're all in the same group, because they're the only ones making use of that part of the park, no masks. And so the direction that we're giving camps, daycare, this is municipal camps, this is overnight camps, this is anybody, even with a sports activity. If you are the only league that's making use of that facility, meaning you're not having from all corners of the state coming to your location, or you're the only ones making use of that park space or that particular outdoor area. There is, if you're under 17 years of age, currently the language says there's no need for a mask. So I'm telling you, the science doesn't say that a kid needs a mask outdoors. The data doesn't say a kid needs a mask outdoors, and the regulations seem pretty clear that if you're the only ones using that park space, you're the only ones at daycare setting, you're the only one in that outdoor setting, you don't have to wear a mask if you're a kid. The CDC guidance is if you're an adult, you should still wear a mask if you're not vaccinated in areas where there's cross-pollination, if you will, people coming and going. That's what we know. I do not think children should be playing outdoors with masks. I'll say that right now. The state hasn't changed the rules for schools. Unlike camps and unlike daycares, the county government has no say when it comes to school standards. That is entirely the state of New York. When it comes to daycare, child care, and camps, our health department, our child and community and family services department does have some oversight, so we feel very safe telling them this is the guideline. Outdoors, no masks. Outdoors, no masks for children. Not necessary. Science doesn't suggest it's necessary. And as long as you're safe and monitoring somebody's health, we are not seeing a rate of transmission. That's what we know. That's how we're treating it. Okay. If you have other questions, write them down underneath that in that live feed, in the comment below the live feed. So, Adam Roach, you began as Director of Veteran Services, well, really in the midst of all this.
Yeah, it was August 17th was my first day.
Yes, I remember that.
I do too.
And you hit the ground running. Honestly, and I've been in county government on and off since 1999. Very few appointments by a county executive. I'm not saying it's my that I got any points for this, but very few appointments by a county executive are well known and universally acceptable. You are the exception.
I appreciate that.
In fact, when we said there would be an opening, there were people who wanted the job and said out loud, "Unless you're picking Adam Roach, I don't want the job." Can you imagine that?
I didn't know that.
Yep. No, there were people who said, "I'm interested, but if you're picking," give him a round of applause. He deserves it. Thank you. Yeah. No, and it's true, universal. You universally accepted, and I think even unanimously confirmed. Is that, or did you get one no vote?
I think it was unanimous. I don't want to.
No, I think it was two. Don't test it. Yeah, he was unanimous.
I don't want to say anything.
So, Memorial Day this year is going to feel a lot like Memorial Day.
Finally,
Yeah.
we're opening up, and we got a lot of things planned. We got first is the Sunday night, which I know it's one of your favorite events and mine too. That memorial on the walkway. It's something that it starts at 8 p.m. Kickoff, and if you haven't been there, I strongly suggest you come out because it's something it's undescribable being up there during the sunset, and when it's the moment of silence and you hear the taps in the background, you kind of get choked up a little bit emotional, really thinking about exactly what this day really is about, for the ones that made that ultimate sacrifice. And just being up there and with everybody being all quiet, it's kind of undescribable. It really is. And I suggest if you're around, please come out and enjoy the ceremony with us. Then for Memorial Day, we are bringing the convoy back. We had a lot of positive feedback for that. Yeah. So I talked with the town supervisors. A lot of the veterans called into our office. And we decided to bring that back again for Memorial Day. So at 9 a.m. at the Dutchess County War Memorial, which is located on the Main Street and Market Street in Poughkeepsie, there, the corner, we're going to kick off and do the inner loop of the convoy, going through Pleasant Valley, town Stanfordville, Millbrook, coming back on LaGrange, and coming back to the War Memorial at 11 and holding a full Memorial Day ceremony. It's something that we missed last year, and it's going to be good to see everyone's faces, full faces, so if you're vaccinated, please.
Well, not everybody.
Not everybody.
Some faces, masked is okay.
Yeah, no, absolutely. If you feel comfortable with a mask, that's perfectly fine.
Most people would prefer if I kept one on.
Yeah, me too. So after that, 11:30, we are going to kick off the outer loop, heading towards Wappingers, down towards Beacon, and then going across East Fishkill, Pine Plains, Milan, and then coming back to the War Memorial around 4:30, 4:45 for the completion of that. And it's like I said, we encourage everybody to come out. The route will be posted. I believe it's on Dutchess Delivery. And if you're in the area, if you're not doing anything, come around. Even if you have barbecue or something going on, just come out and enjoy the whistles and the silence.
Yeah. So the County War Memorial is it's Main Street and Raymond Avenue.
Raymond,
That's okay.
I'm
In the
sorry.
town of Poughkeepsie. That's
Town
okay.
of Poughkeepsie.
That's fine. Just want to make sure people know Raymond Avenue and Main Street in the town of Poughkeepsie.
Yes.
And the county took ownership of that property only a handful of years ago.
It was 2011.
Is that what it was? Yeah. So somehow the County War Memorial was never maintained by the county until we worked out a relationship and took ownership of the property. Now we maintain it. Well, you maintain it.
Well, the Memorial Day event used to be on the walkway, correct?
Yes, yeah.
Before that.
Yeah, the only Memorial Day we had was
On the walkway, yeah.
And so the night before, Adam mentioned on Sunday, May 30th, 8 p.m. at the walkways, an evening illumination. County Executive Pat Ryan and I, Ulster and Dutchess,
Yes.
meet in the middle, retire the flag that flies over the walkway, and to take a moment to.
And this year, the flag is going to be dedicated to the veterans that lost their fight with COVID. So that's something. The Pleasant Valley American Legion is going to be involved with that also, and also the walkway, Friends of the Walkway, I believe it is,
Yeah.
that we're partnering with. So very excited to bring this back.
Sure. So you served in the.
I served in the United States Marine Corps from 2000 to 2004. Hoorah, Semper Fi. My unit was actually the first unit to step foot in Iraq back in '03. So that's why when we started the Vet to Vet program, we got some of the guys in here now and girls. How are you, Michelle? And it was near and dear to my heart because I was one of the ones that really struggled coming back, and I believe we built a very, very successful program here at Dutchess with the help of just the veterans out there and also the community. One of the main points of that program is having the community involvement. You hear the saying, "It takes a village," and I really think that that's the same thing with veterans coming back, struggling with post-traumatic stress and different issues and isolation. It takes the whole community to come together and really heal that, and that's what with your help, definitely, and with the programs that we have, that's why we are so successful. And to this day, since 2008, when the Dwyer program started, there hasn't been one completion of a suicide with a veteran that's been part of that program. So that's just unheard of what's going on now.
It's a tremendous program, and I mean it. And I know the people who started this, you mentioned Lee, but I know the people who initiated here in the state. They believed in it, and they know that it's saved lives. I do want to recognize Senator Serino. Every year, for whatever reason, the governor takes the vet-to-vet funding out of the budget and forces the senators to beg it back in, which is just obscene and absurd. I'm sorry, I'm not running for governor, so but my point is that it's just an absurd thing that every year we have to beg, and Senator Serino has been steadfast, along with our assembly members, all of our assembly members, Dee Dee Barrett, Karen Lawler, John Jacobson, Kevin Cahill, have all helped to restore that funding. But Senator Serino has been steadfast.
Yeah, she's been. And it's a shame that the governor holds that like on a pedestal to get what he wants across. And as far as veterans and mental health, it's ridiculous.
And having served in the state legislature, what the governor does is he takes it out because he knows they want it back in. That's not honorable. That's just the way they play.
Yeah.
He plays the game. Pull it out and then force them to give him something to agree to put it back in. And sadly, that's what occurs every year. But anyway, it's a tremendous program, good partnership with MHA.
Oh yeah.
And I'm thankful that one, you were involved in that, and that you decided to take this job because there were other people who were waiting, and if you didn't, they were going to take it.
No, I absolutely love what I'm doing now. It's a different aspect, and I'm blessed with a phenomenal team that we have at the Division of Veteran Services over there. So love it. Thank you.
So what's the thing we can do better? Veteran Services. You can tell me right in front of these, all these people, what's the thing we can do better?
Transportation.
Yeah.
Transportation is a major issue. We have a Vet Zero program right now with one vehicle, but the transportation aspect of getting to the medical appointments has been an issue for quite some time now. It's a major issue in all of the VA. So that's something that if it can be addressed, we should look into that.
What are the, and we're joined by members of this post and veterans here. What's the way you fix that? I mean, we have buses. That's not it. How do you get the flexibility? What's the right answer?
The right answer for it, we need a vehicle that transports veterans with disabilities, wheelchair accessibility, stuff like that, and have more than just one, because there's more appointments than just one. Focusing on that, and also appointments to Albany, the VA, where Castle Point can't accommodate something for like a surgery. They need to go to Albany. stay up there with them and also bring the veteran back.
So you think that the county should own a couple cars, or is it we partner with not-for-profits to do that? It's okay.
I think we should for the non-profit, yeah, Tommy's over there. Partner with the non-profits that have the programs there already, have it established and just build onto them.
Okay, so why don't we make sure that we talk to, we'll talk through budget development for January 21,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because we're halfway through this year, and let's figure out a way. If not, I mean, we should at least add one more. If we can add more than one more, then let's figure out how to do that.
Yeah, wheelchair accessible.
Yeah. So what we would need to do, kind of like we do with Friends of Seniors,
Mm-hmm.
we have a partnership. They're a not-for-profit. We pay them annually to provide transportation for some seniors who can't get it otherwise. If we have the right not-for-profit, I assume there might be one that can manage the insurance and what have you. Why don't we talk about what doubling the number of vehicles? I mean, we'll start with an additional one. You tell me what that costs, and then you propose it in your budget request.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure that I can get people to agree to it. I'm very persuasive.
That's
So why don't we figure that out? And I didn't set you up. We didn't talk.
No.
Just,
This is definitely this.
I mean, we probably could use a dozen of them, but I don't know if we get there in 1 year. Tommy, you're gonna come up in a minute, don't you? What do you have? Tommy's your Helen.
So the DAV, the Disabled American Veterans, they're donating 2 cars.
Yeah, we bought them a vehicle. Yeah.
But still there's the cost of drivers
Labor.
and infrastructure.
So just develop for us a budget. Tell us what that looks like, and we have a few ways that we might be able to put some money on the ground. And we'll at least add. We'll come up with. We'll expand it for next year. However many that is, we'll decide as we get through budget development. But it'll be more than we got now.
That sounds
Is
great.
that a deal?
Unbelievable.
Okay, it's a
That
deal.
sounds great.
Tommy, we'll meet up.
We're doing okay. We can
That's
make it.
nice.
If there are other questions, just write down in the comment section below the live stream. Anybody here have a question for any of us while you're here? More I could talk about, but if you
I
have.
think you guys are great.
Oh, he thinks we're great.
Thank you,
You
sir.
mean me and Adam? Or
I love you.
just
I love
Adam?
you all. I love everybody. I do.
Thank you.
Thank
Yes,
you.
what's your
Appreciate
question?
I'm just thinking affordable housing.
Housing, yeah.
It's, within the year of COVID, a $900 apartment went to $2,100.
Ouch.
You can't find anything, even if you're in all the programs that help you,
Yeah.
or you're on Section 8, there's still no housing. They're
So-
building everywhere, Eastdale, the river, right? And you can get on the list, but your apartment's gonna be $1,700 for 1 bedroom.
Wow.
I mean, how can a veteran that's on 100% disability and Social Security afford to do something like that?
So because people can't hear you through this microphone, I'm just going to repeat that the question went, well, it's less a question, but more of a sentence, which is just, and we understand this, housing costs. By the way, we have said consistently, housing and affordable housing means whatever is affordable to you. I'm not saying it's government subsidized or not,
Right,
but
no.
we don't have enough of it, and that's a problem in the region, but for veterans in particular, those disabled, there are fewer and fewer options.
Yeah.
And so what I would tell you is, and I don't know if Adam's talked, have you met with Ann Saylor? From
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So Ann Saylor is our Deputy Commissioner for Housing. She understands that this is a real challenge, and we are getting some federal dollars that we're trying to work with developers to make more availability. Dutchess, I think this year will have the most affordable housing units built in recent history, but that still likely isn't enough. The other is the outward pressure from New York City means that our housing prices are skyrocketing.
Yeah.
I understand that's the benefit and the burden of a free market, but we also need those alternatives. So I know that we're trying to leverage some federal dollars for more housing. We're doing that. But I will tell you one of the things we're going to do with the American Rescue Plan money. This is the federal money that the counties are getting. We're getting $57 million. I don't know the dollar amount. We are dedicating a chunk of it to housing stability, and so that's trying to get people from homelessness to stabilized housing. We don't have that transition housing, and we intend to build it. And so if there is a veteran amongst that population that having a hard time holding on to a house, maybe from time to time is homeless, we're going to build a village, and we're basically going to build. I mean, whether it's these tiny houses or these little, your mother-in-law's house. The goal is to try to build that. We're going to use some federal dollars for that. I think I think we're talking about 5 or 6 million. I'll find
That
out.
would be nice.
So we're gonna move on that too.
Wow, I didn't know
Thank
that,
you.
that's awesome.
Yeah, well, we needed someplace for you to live, so we.
Yeah, right? Gotta get out of the cave.
Getting back to vaccines, and just a reminder, on Saturday, May 29th through Monday, May 31st, if you'd like to get vaccinated at a park, you can do that. No, so New York State is hosting a pop-up clinic at the FDR home site in Hyde Park. And just as a reference, if you get your, this is the way New York is working things these days, if you get your vaccine over that 3-day period, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, you are eligible to receive a 2-day pass to any New York State park.
I heard that.
Yes, yeah. What we're going to offer is lunch with Adam Roach. You get your vaccine,
Oh, nice.
you can go out to lunch with Adam. You've got to pay, but you get to eat with him.
What's up with that?
So, yeah, right. Let me also mention OFA, Office for the Aging Picnics. We've kicked off again. I'm good. We've kicked off our picnics. In fact, began today in Wingdale. Next week, we're in the town of Fishkill. Sean, correct me if I'm wrong, but we're offering, it's drive-through picnic. But if there's a space around, you want to stay with us, stay with us. We're not telling people, we're not quite back to the traditional senior picnic, although I'm hoping that we get 1 or 2 in before the end of this year. But we are doing the drive-through picnics, but if you want to stay and there's a location, there's a park bench, or there's a space you want to join, you just stay and join us. Any entertainment, or just me? No, just me. So we have that opportunity as well. Memorial Day weekend statewide is also a impaired driving crackdown weekend. So yes, individuals, honestly, we should celebrate Memorial Day with the solemn solemnity that it deserves, but people will likely also have barbecues and have a beer or two. Don't drive. That's the bottom line. Don't drink and drive. Don't drive while impaired in any way. And again, if you need a ride, just call Adam. He'll come pick you up. But I do want to advise the Sheriff's Office, New York State Police, and local police departments are all engaged in this Memorial Day weekend crackdown. Just to be safe.
Yeah.
Listen, if you want to drink, stay home and drink, or stay wherever you are. But don't get in a vehicle. Don't get behind the wheel. You not only risk your own life, but the lives of others. To Tommy Zerhella mentioned this, but we do have a question. Does disabled American veterans still transport veterans to appointments? Go ahead.
They do, but as of right now, they haven't the restrictions for the COVID, so they're not doing that.
Yeah.
But as soon as I find out more, and as soon as that opens up, I'll definitely let you guys know.
Okay, so we'll promote it. They do, but right now, because of
Right now, restrictions, they're not doing that.
Okay, fair enough. And we did, I think, a year or 2 ago, buy them a new vehicle. I don't remember what we did. I think we assisted with a van or something.
I wasn't aware of that.
It was before you.
Mhm.
I mean, things, there's
Things
you know,
happen.
BA,
That's nice, though.
there's BA and AA. Before Adam and after Adam.
Took me a while.
So this is where you're not leaving. I'm going to have you move over there. Is there a chair over there still? And I'm going to ask Tommy Zerhella to come on up
Sure.
and talk a little bit about what he's been doing.
Absolutely.
And we'll get you back on in a minute. If you have a question, just write it in the comment section below the live feed. I feel so small around you guys.
Got a football team.
I do. I feel like,
That's fine.
yeah, thanks a lot.
How you doing, Mark?
I'm doing well, Tommy. How are you?
Welcome to VFW Post 17.
Past post commander. What are you
Yeah.
up to now?
Well, it's finals week at Mayor, so
Yeah.
I'm finishing up there. But Vet Zero is really busy.
Yeah.
You guys are talking about the Vet Zero Heroes Ride. So far, since I got back from the walk, you remember,
Yeah.
we've given over 800 free rides to veterans. It's
Oh,
really easy.
Nice.
All you have to do is call 1-833-VET-0.
1-833-VET-0.
Yeah, and as Adam mentioned, we're hoping to add at least 1 vehicle this year and a driver because the need is so great. As you know, as Adam said, the one thing that we can do for our veterans is transportation. It's so hard here in Dutchess County. The bus doesn't work, so we're really trying to address that. Also, we got a new program called Vet Zero, Heroes Making Heroes. Literally, it's heroes making hero-style sandwiches. It's a pop-up food service. We're employing veterans and we're fighting food insecurity here in Poughkeepsie and Dutchess County. So look for us at all the Poughkeepsie waterfront and pop-up markets, farmers markets this summer. Some veterans making some great sandwiches. Please support them.
So, who funds all this? Where's the money coming from?
It's all donations. All these programs, Vet Zero, is partnered with Hudson River Housing. You know Krista Hines.
Of course.
And they do great work. You were talking about rent relief before. They're doing amazing work with that. But Vet Zero is the veterans arm of Hudson River Housing, and it's all supported by donations. People just like you.
Okay, so if somebody wanted to make a contribution, and we hope that if you have any means you do, they would do what?
Just go to hudsonriverhousing.org, click on the Vet Zero link, and you'll see my smiling face. And
But don't let that discourage you.
Where's my mask? And we'll be happy to help you from there.
We appreciate that. And so the transportation volunteer staff, who's driving
Always
cars?
looking for volunteers. So our staff we have one driver right now. His name's Steve. He's a veteran.
Yeah.
Awesome. And we're gonna hopefully add at least one more vehicle and a new driver. And these are people who are making a living wage.
Okay, good.
Oh, nice.
So you already heard, and we weren't setting this up. So the goal will be, you guys tell us maybe what to do to expand
Mhm.
another vehicle, another driver.
Yep.
I mean, I'd be interested in knowing what 2 more costs a year.
Yep.
And then we'll figure out what we can afford for
So great.
2021.
That's so amazing.
Yeah,
Thank you
well,
so much.
yeah, no, we know that transportation is the biggest challenge. The problem with our transportation system is the size of the county.
Right.
I mean, if you're in a city like New York or any city, right, it's so close proximity, you can run buses all day long, and you're getting from you're just driving past everything.
Mm-hmm.
In this county, where I live, right, if you get on a bus, I mean, where am I gonna get off?
It takes you 7 buses to get
Yeah.
to Castle Point, and the
Yeah.
schedules. If you've taken the bus in Dutchess County, you know.
Yeah,
They do a great job, but we can
For
do
what
better.
they do.
Yeah.
yeah, and the problem is that you can't run enough buses from one point to the other point,
Right.
to make it convenient for everybody.
And doctor's appointments, of course, if you miss your doctor's appointment, it's hard to get another one. So.
I was talking to somebody the other day who wants us to consider expanding transportation in Eastern Dutchess, which I agree to, I certainly do. But I said, the problem is, where do you start? Because the reason they need transportation generally is they don't have transportation.
Right.
And so where will we put the bus,
Yeah.
to get to them?
Yeah.
And that becomes challenging when there isn't a village center or there isn't a large employer. Where do you start, where do you end?
Vet Zero's taken veterans all the way down to the Bronx, the VA down in the Bronx, and as far north as Albany. Steve, our driver, is great. We're just looking to service more veterans.
So if somebody wanted to volunteer, they can go through the same, call the number, or just go to.
Yep, just go to hudsonriverhousing.org, click on the Vet Zero link, you'll find all the information there.
Okay, good. Why don't you remind us, you did some walking a year ago?
Yeah.
A year and a half ago at this point?
Yeah, a long time ago.
So what is that about? I remember. Why don't you tell people who are watching?
Sure. So if you don't know, in the summer of 2019, I walked across America from Portland all the way home here to Poughkeepsie, 2,800 miles, and thank you for that. Wrote a book about it. It's called The Low Road.
And you can purchase this at your local bookstore and Amazon?
No, only one place to get it, because all proceeds, Mark, go to helping veterans, the Vet Zero Ride program, and all the other programs like Liberty Station and Hudson River Housing. So if you'd like a copy of this book, again, just visit hudsonriverhousing.org and click on the Vet Zero link.
Great. And so so you walked for vet homelessness, suicide?
Yep.
Go ahead.
That's amazing.
I became
Yeah.
commander. Commander Bernie's the commander here now, but I was commander, and I became really frustrated, Mark. I would get basically a call a day from veterans, and we just didn't have the resources to help people here at the VFW. I got really frustrated, so I had a sabbatical coming up in Maris. So instead of writing another silly novel, I decided to walk across the country. So,
As most people would do.
very naive, armed with only a mail bag and some good intentions, I took a flight out to Portland and just walked back.
Wow.
And the whole adventure is right here. All the good, the bad, and the ugly.
What was the ugliest?
Well, besides losing 2 toenails,
Yes, beside
or besides being surrounded by mountain lions in the middle of nowhere.
You pick one, whichever.
Well, the worst day was the second day when I woke up and I couldn't get out of bed. I could not move my legs. I had to crawl to the bathroom. So it got better from there.
And the best?
The best was coming home. You were there.
That was beautiful. It really was.
Dennis Murray, president of Marist College, he lied to me. He said, "Oh, we're going to have a small ceremony for you here." I get here, there's 5,000 people on the Marist College campus.
Wow.
You were there. It was just fantastic.
I was happy and felt was humbled and also insufficient in walking, I think, the last mile or so with you.
Well, that was the last walking I've done for a long time, so
Yeah.
I'm making up for sitting right now.
That's right. Well, you had said though you might do like backwards or something.
Well, people are telling me you're going to swim it next time, walk backwards, but we'll see.
We'll see. What do you teach at Marist?
I'm the creative writing guy.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You any good at it?
No, terrible. And I don't even know why they still have me on, but my students seem to like me.
They do seem to like you. I've heard that.
Thank you.
But you're kind of likable, so we're good with
I
that.
appreciate that.
So again, if folks need a ride, it's 1-833-VET-0. If folks want to contribute or volunteer themselves, go to
HudsonRiverHousing.org. And when you call the number at 1-833-VET-0, we ask that you call a week in advance for your ride to 7 up.
Good. So we'll work that out. Alan will talk with you.
Great.
Last year, the year before, we launched the Tommy's Helping Fund.
How's that going?
I have to ask Adam. I think we
Great name, by the way.
Yeah,
Great
only a
name.
couple takers, but we set aside $10,000,
$20,000.
$20,000 to assist veterans. And by the way, if you're a veteran out there, there's a simple application. We measure income, right? It's not supposed to be for just anybody. But if you have a challenge, you need that suit for your job interview,
Right.
or you need the ride because you couldn't get there, or maybe 1 month rent just to keep you from going homeless or losing that house. We created this fund to be of some help. And so veterans out there, or family members of veterans out there, should keep an eye on it. And it's a fund that we established in your name for the work that you did
Appreciate that
to
so much.
assist veterans. I think we've only had a handful of takers, but again, you always have to promote it. So we're promoting it again.
Appreciate that so much.
What is so you served where and when?
Navy guy, I was Gulf War. Unlike Birdie, I saw it from the water, not from the ground. But I was in Gulf War. I was in the Navy from 91, 97, a couple of years in the reserves, and I was a nuclear electrician,
Oh, simple thing like that.
which means that I basically check gauges. But I also qualified 50 caliber machine gunner, which kept me out of the engine room during the Persian Gulf, which was very nice.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Not that I
I
know.
was with the 6th Fleet over in Israel in '73, and I did twice Navy, two enlistments.
Oh, really?
5 years.
Nice.
Nice.
Thank
Nice.
you.
Well, thank you.
Got a Marine shirt on. A Marine
Yeah.
threw me up the pier in Spain because he called me a squid and I called him a jarhead. And the shirt was
That's
Now
squid.
you're bringing back memories, man.
What I like is when Marines, Navy men, and Army folks argue amongst themselves.
They do.
Yeah.
And I don't have any opinion. I'm
Well,
trying
you
not
should spend more time at the VFW, Margaret. A lot of arguing between branches. Probably in about 5 minutes when I walk away.
Yeah.
While you're serving, they're not your friends, but when you get out, you're brothers in arms, I'm telling you.
to. You get out, you're all brothers and sisters. That's
You
what I
are,
appreciate that.
yeah.
Well, Tommy, I appreciate it. We really do think very well of you. We poke fun
Yeah.
from time to time, but we're inspired by you.
That's what we do here, yeah. Thank you so much for all the things you do for our veterans and our county. We appreciate
We
it.
want to be better at it, and so.
We're gonna get better. Vets Hero Ride, Vets Hero Heroes, we're gonna do it together.
Yeah, you guys are.
Would you let Tiny come sit over here?
Come on back, man. This
We're
is
gonna-
your chair.
Thanks, thanks. So we're at VFW Post 170. We're going to wrap up in a minute. Any other questions? Good.
You're amazing for doing that walk. That's amazing.
He's a great guy.
Can't walk that.
That's amazing.
I'm losing control. So, I do want to mention, over the weekend, we did finally have a moment to recognize the life and service of Barbara Jeter Jackson. I'm only laughing because I think we could have picked a picture without me in it, but that's okay. Barbara Jeter Jackson, as you might remember, was a county legislator from the city of Poughkeepsie. Here is an African-American woman that worked at IBM, involved herself in the community, went from school board to city council to county legislator to minority leader, and really carved a way for both women and African-American women in politics in Dutchess. Real inspiration to a number of people. Very dear friend to me. The city of Poughkeepsie, Councilman Chris Petsis, built this mini library that you'll see throughout the city now, these little pocket libraries, and dedicated this particular one to Barbara Jeter Jackson. Mayor Rob Rollison and the city council dedicated this tree. to Barbara Jeter Jackson, and it was just our honor and privilege to know her, to love her, to be loved by her, and to spend the weekend at least dedicating that to her. The other is we were in Pauling on I don't know what day it was, Saturday or Sunday. I can't keep track of my days. I think it was Saturday. We're beginning to announce our community development block grant. We were supporting the Pauling Library, had their jazz festival. It was actually nice, 30 people. It was like normal. It felt like,
Back normal a little bit.
And I want to congratulate the Pauling Library. They're engaged in a very large development project, a new children's wing. But we were very proud, County Legislator Ed Hauser and I, to award the Pauling Library $200,000 in county aid for the rehab of their bathrooms to make them ADA compliant. And we're happy to do that. The reason I'm saying that is over the course of the next couple of weeks, we'll be announcing other block grants that we're going to be awarding to communities all across Dutchess. Town of Wappinger's in line for one, Town of East Fishkill, some others across the county. But in just a few days, we'll be talking about how we're going to implement our American Rescue Plan dollars. Dutchess County has a very sophisticated process of getting public comment. And so over the course of the last several years, like for veterans, right, we ask people what they think. What are the issues that are important to you? What are the challenges we need, priorities we need to address? With the federal dollars, some will go to stabilizing county government. Some will go towards county projects that we won't have to borrow money for, drive down debt. But we're also going to put some money on the ground, and we're going to try to support athletic groups, arts organizations, and libraries across Dutchess County to try to assist in supporting young people, creating new opportunities for kids. You know this, we all know this, during COVID in the last 16 months, kids, seniors, and those with disabilities really the hardest hit. Small business owners certainly, but kids, seniors, and those with disabilities really struggled hard. And our goal with some of these dollars is to help get those programs expanded to really address some community needs. So we're going to be talking a little bit about that in the weeks ahead. That said, why don't we remind people again, Adam Roach, Director of the Division of Veteran Services, what our Memorial Day weekend, let's do this. This is pretty cool. Although, if you had asked me, I would have said no rental price. I would
say the same thing, but.
Did we lose people or no? How much are we making on this? I'm in a good mood today. What are we charging people? Do you even know?
I think it's half off.
What does that mean? $50? $25?
$10
Is it 10?
for the
Yeah,
$10.
Oh, it's $10?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, how many, do we get people to do it already?
I think we have 5 or 6 signed up.
How many more spots do we have?
15.
15?
Yeah.
20? Okay, so why don't we encourage people to sign up? This is our Veterans Camping Weekend.
Yes.
What do you want them to know about it?
June 3rd through June 6th. On June 6th, we're going to be doing a flag changing ceremony with the VFW up in Red Hook. And we have our Vet to Vet program, Devin's over there. They're going to be providing a picnic, and the food's going to be made by our heroes making heroes. So it's going to be a complete weekend of fun games, things that we got set up. And then June 6th, which is D-Day, also we're going to have the flag changing or remembrance of that. So looking very forward to that. It's going to be a really fun weekend, and I encourage, if you haven't signed up, give us a call, please. The number's 298-4600. 298-4600. Total number we can have there is how many? I think it's
spots?
20 is the total number.
20? 20 total spots?
20 total
Okay,
spots.
so this is what we're going to do.
I got a feeling.
We're going to waive the fee.
Oh, nice.
Okay?
Great.
So if you already paid, we're going to give it back to you. Or you get extra hot dogs. I mean, $10 isn't. So, Sean, I'm getting in a lot of trouble today. But I feel like it's necessary, so we're just going to waive it. I mean, how much money? This is no money. It doesn't cost anything. So we're going to waive the fee. It's free. Sign up.
Thank you.
But you got to sign up soon.
You got to sign up.
If you don't sign up soon, someone else is going to eat your hot dogs.
Heroes.
Heroes. Oh, I'm sorry. Heroes. Everything's a hero. I mean, a hot dog and a hero.
But it's going to be a fun weekend, and definitely please
Tell Sandy
give
it's
us a
free.
call.
Got it? How much trouble am I in?
None.
The phone's ringing.
Yeah. Sandy Washburn was doing the right thing at Parks, but
Yep.
I mean, yes. So we'll waive the fee. We'll get folks to register for all the spots, and I know it's supposed to be it's going to be really nice.
I think
Now
so.
I wish we could handle more, but maybe we get into the routine of doing this annually and get some.
Especially if you haven't visited Wilcox Park, it's gorgeous, like unbelievable.
Yeah.
Really.
Well, it's funny. It's that little known. It's that secret park.
It really is.
Now, so I live in Red Hook. This park's in the town of Milan, just next to us. I grew up knowing Wilcox Park, and it was always nice that during the week nobody's there.
Yeah.
But if you go to Wilcox Park on Memorial Day, 4th of July weekend, I think
Packed.
it is packed, and it's mostly residents from City of Poughkeepsie area who escaped to this lake. There's boating, a little bit of paddle boating, there's fishing, there's our disc golf course. For those of you who don't play regular golf, it's a disc golf course, and some other amenities. They're just great. It's a beautiful little park. Actually, it's a huge park, but it's beautiful. And so this weekend when I saw that we were doing it, seems really special. I've never camped there, and I don't know that I'm going to go this weekend, but I'll come out and say hello.
Definitely.
Okay, so it's free.
There you go. It's free.
I think you get a pass.
What else you want? Ask now. No, nothing else, Mr. Allen. Nothing else. Let's one more time Memorial Day weekend, and then we'll close up. So May the 30th.
May 30th, 8 p.m. walkway over the Hudson. It's a sunset ceremony with the flag changing, partnering with Ulster County and the walkway over the Hudson, friends of the walkway over the Hudson. So it's going to be a great event, and looking forward to seeing everybody out there.
Memorial Day, the day we set aside to recognize those men and women who didn't come home, and to show our support to their families. Many continue to live on, certainly, and deserve our respect and our love and our support. We're getting back to a normal Memorial Day ceremony. So what's Memorial Day again?
Memorial Day is the 9 o'clock kickoff for the convoy at the corner of Main and Raymond. And that's going to go the inner loop and then come back at 11 o'clock for our Memorial Day ceremony, which is held there at the War Memorial. And then 11:30, we're going to kick off our outer loop.
So inner outer means we're going to be circling the central core of Dutchess. Inner, that's okay. That's our language. Central core of Dutchess, the town's in sort of the center.
Yes.
And then the larger, longer route is around the outside. Now, keep in mind that, and I give you guys a lot of credit, we're working around ceremonies this year. Last year, we were the only thing going on. And so if we're not exactly on the street we thought we were going to be on, it's likely because we had to coordinate around a town ceremony, or we're not in your municipality the hour we were last year. It's because likely they were having their own event.
Something else going on,
Now we're going to get folks to participate, but also understand we might have fire companies, whatever, they have their own ceremonies. They're going to be coming in and out throughout the day.
Either way, it's going to be a great event.
Yeah, I think it's great, and I have to tell you, it really is very powerful to go throughout the county, see people lined up, paying their respects. It's almost more about that than us in it.
Especially seeing the older generation, full uniform.
Oh, they come out with
saluting.
It's really powerful.
It's cool.
Really powerful. Really powerful. I'm glad we're doing it. Again, pretty much all day on Monday, May 31st, and again Memorial Day. It may be a time that you get together with family and friends, and certainly it's a time to enjoy community, which we can do thanks to the service of men and women for generations. But it is the day that we are supposed to pay respect to those who lost their lives. That is what Memorial Day is, and we're keeping a sacred promise, if you will, and keeping the memories alive. Adam Roach, Director of Division of Veteran Services for Dutchess County Government, you and your team do a tremendous job. Have a great day. So with that, Adam, you survived?
I did.
Adam's not a speech guy.
He's better.
He's getting
I'm
really
good with you guys. Yeah.
He's actually okay. When he's comfortable, he's really good at it. I like when he's uncomfortable.
You love putting me in that position.
Ladies and gentlemen, to the men and women here, thanks for letting us be at the post today. But most importantly, thanks for your service. I mean, generally, we joked a little bit, but genuinely, on behalf of the people of Dutchess County, thank you for your service. To those watching who have served and continue to serve, thank you for your sacrifice. And to all of you who joined us on Facebook today, thanks very much. Be safe. stay healthy and be kind to each other.